Welcome to the show after the show with the Fantasy Footballers.
Woo! Sorry.
Welcome in.
You hit me with that one at the end.
All right. We're back. Back on YouTube. Show after the show. This time it's coming after the show. Here's our topic. Welcome to the show after the show, the Fantasy Footballers podcast. Subscribe on iTunes. Get all of your fantasy football needs met. Get them all met.
That's true.
All right. Article just came out here on The Verge.
Is it the one that I put in?
It said, tell your dentist to suck it. There's little evidence that flossing actually works. Subtitle, but maybe still do it?
And my favorite part about I'm so glad we're doing this. I threw this in as maybe we can do it because flossing is the worst, the absolute worst. And you know, like in an article, they pick out quotes and they make them real big and fancy, and you have the evidence for flossing is quote weak, very unreliable. Take that, dentist, in your flossing.
The U.S. government has been recommending flossing since 1979 and included the practice in the dietary guidelines for Americans. By law, those guidelines have to be backed by scientific research. Now they're saying the evidence for flossing is weak, as Mike said, very unreliable.
Yeah.
But maybe you should still do it, they say, because it's low risk and low cost.
It's not low risk. It is high risk to my mouth being filled with blood.
Have you ever
Now, okay, let me say that. Wait, is that what you were going to bring up too?
Well, I will say this. Flossing is the best opportunity for bleeding out of your mouth.
If you floss regularly, you don't ever bleed. If you floss irregularly, you will bleed because you are getting like bacteria and stuff out of weak gums.
So doesn't that scientifically prove that your gums are getting stronger if you floss regularly?
I think so.
We've just solved the issue.
No, well, it's like, you know, when you or like as a guitar player, your fingers
calloused.
You just start callous, so you're just callousing up your poor gums.
Wait a second. Let me ask you a
question. The scientific community now, we are hurting our gums.
When you wait, you're quickly declaring things for the scientific community, aren't you?
Yes.
Based
I'm the
on
scientist.
This debate, by this
you
debate.
two
So,
are running the tests.
Let me ask you this: you've gotten your teeth cleaned. Have you ever had to have your gums cleaned out?
By the scratchy pokey thing?
No,
not like a default thing, like a root scaling thing.
No.
Okay.
Me as
I didn't
well.
know if you were like a terrible.
Have you?
No.
Oh, okay. I have not either.
I mean, they check your gums every time you go in there. They check the depth on them to see if they're okay. I've always felt like
my gums. I haven't been to the dentist in a while, so my gums are probably totaled. This
just
is
destroyed.
They're probably done.
And I'm guessing you don't floss.
I will say this with
no.
flossing. The best invention in a long, long time are the flossing strips.
Yes.
Strips?
Yes.
No,
the little tool.
The tool.
Oh,
The tool.
Yes.
The little.
it's all right.
What? Wait, do you? I know we call you the old man, but are you still the like? Psh?
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Oh,
I mean, we have the other ones. I just prefer regular flossing.
Well, that's what I mean.
No, now I've lost my train of thought.
Well, apparently you have a disgusting mouth, so you don't get to speak.
Yes, I probably do. Oh, I was going to say, I think I'm just blessed
However,
with a genetically strong mouth.
If done improperly, flossing can damage your gums and cause infections.
Low risk, they say.
Yeah, that sounds like high risk. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Are you guys familiar? You know Mitch Hedberg, right?
Yeah.
One of Mitch Hedberg's best jokes was, said, people ask me, they say, do you know how hard it is to quit smoking? And I say, yeah. Do you know how hard it is to start flossing?
Yeah.
Because that's the truth.
Yeah.
It's harder to start flossing than it is to quit smoking. This is backed by science.
I'm an expert flosser for one period of every 6 months.
Yeah,
That's 3 days before I go to the dentist.
I-
So I'm not embarrassed.
I do the flossing. The flossing is like my diet. You know, it's like every once in a while on a Monday.
Is that like cutting before a jiu-jitsu match?
No, like this is it. I'm cleaning health up everywhere. I'm getting physically healthy. I'm getting mentally healthy. I'm getting my mouth healthy. And then 4 days later, I'm like,
Flossing
Now,
sucks.
here's
Flossing
a
is the
question
worst.
because I've heard officially for two different results. Do you floss then brush or brush then floss?
I always, 100% of the time, floss then brush.
Floss then brush?
Correct. That will be the question to
Yes.
you. Floss then brush.
I believe I do that
brush
way.
then floss, or never floss again. Those are your possible
and
outcomes.
I always do the I'll do the floss, the brush, and then I'll do the mouthwash.
Yeah, that's smart. So
And
you're
then-
willing to mouthwash because that's quick.
Yes.
All right.
If I can mouthwash and never brush again,
What I want to know is why science can't get anything right. Ever.
flossing is the worst.
I thought that was Josh putting that in. That's funny.